Yo, what is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Gamer Disclaimer with Mag and Wade. Of course, my name is Mag. Beside me is Wade, and we have officially eclipsed 20 episodes, which is fantastic, making this episode 21. We will continue making this show episodes until we drop or we run out of topics. And if we run out of topics, we'll just do tier lists for all of eternity.
Was I supposed to go grab an adult beverage in celebration of episode 21? I didn't even know.
I grabbed one. This is straight water. But yeah, we're excited. It'll be a good time. So we have a fun topic for today. I think a lot of you who watch are in similar age brackets to Wade and myself, and will relate very heavily to our topic today. And I am very excited to hear your guys' comments and things that you share after we finish talking about it. But before we get to all that, Wade, what have you been playing this week?
Again, not letting people see, inside baseball, how the sausage is made kind of situation. But we just recorded an episode 3 days ago, and I don't think I've played much of anything. I think I played a little bit more Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. Trying to kind of clean up a lot of the post-endgame things. I don't know. Maybe we don't know this because we don't play enough JRPGs or RPGs otherwise, but sometimes after you beat the game, that's when the game actually begins, where you can really start doing a lot of things. Late in the game, I'm not going to consider this a spoiler, but I'll just tell you this. Late in the game, you defeat a boss that gives you an ability that lets your damage exceed 10,000 points per hit. Whereas prior to that point in time, that was your cap that you had. So even your most powerful attacks would only go that. And then once you beat that boss, now you can go beyond that. So it's even more exciting. One other thing, I don't know if I've mentioned it before. I think I have, but if I claim that I'm not actually playing any video games, more than likely, I've just got YouTube or a movie or something playing on the TV while I am playing Picross on my Nintendo Switch. I heckin' love some Picross.
Yes, I know you recommended it in one of our previous videos. So, cool. I have played 2 rounds of Fortnite since our last recording, and then other than that...
Did you find Darth Vader?
I have not yet. We chose to bypass that because we thought there'd be a lot of people there. But I have been really getting back into collecting Pokemon cards, and so I've spent a lot of my downtime looking through cool versions and alt arts of cards, and I've really been enjoying that. And so, just wasting money on cardboard, but it's valuable. To some people, it's valuable if it's worth what you'll pay for it. Whatever that means, it's worth something to me. So, I'm hoping to play some games tonight after we record, and hopefully this weekend as well. I'm gonna try and play some games. But cool. So we will dive right into our topic here. Shorter intro than usual. So Wade and I probably would agree. That most sports games that are sims of sports are not particularly fun. I don't know how much experience...
I mean, you've got to define fun. They're, how we're always dunking on JRPGs and everything. There are people who live and breathe sports sims and love them. There are people who live and breathe racing sims and love them so much. For myself personally, I was entirely fed up with sports sims specifically in Madden, where an entirely infallible system where they always would be able to call every penalty correctly and determine if you had in fact gotten that first down, decided to make itself infallible so that you as the player would have the opportunity to throw a challenge flag to challenge a ruling on the field. The system is perfect. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But now you're going to introduce imperfection into it. At that point in time, I was entirely checked out. No thanks. But for those that are done with your simulation sports games, there still is the opportunity to play, as Meg called them, non-sports sports games.
Yeah. So we want to have a conversation topic. I just basically said, why are non-sports sports games more fun than regular sports games? Listen, I have a lot of experience. I really enjoyed playing like NHL 09, and I've sunk about 100 hours into the most recent version of 2K. But I quit playing it because it was so frustrating and so dumb, and it just drove me nuts. And yeah, and Madden, it's basically they're releasing the same game every year. And so I think there has not been a ton of non-sports sports games in the most recent stretch, but I would say from basically N64 to about PS2, PS3, Xbox 360, that console life in those generations, some of the most fun games have come out, in my opinion. And so we're going to look at some of our favorite non-sports sports games and just kind of maybe dive into why those games are so fun and why we enjoy them so much in comparison to the actual sports sims. So, yeah. Wade, why don't you start us off with your thoughts and then maybe show us a game or, it's a pretty open conversation.
I was even trying. Yeah, no, absolutely. I was even trying to think of like what was the first one of these or not the first, the oldest one of these. And the oldest one that comes to mind, for me at least, was, I think it was Arch Rivals on the Nintendo Entertainment System, which was kind of like the progenitor to NBA Jam, I suppose, because my brain immediately went to NBA Jam with the huge success that one was. But I think Arch Rivals, like, still at its core was, basketball, but I think it was just 2-on-2, similar to the way that these other games are. And yeah, I mean, I always, especially back in the day on the Super Nintendo, you'd play NBA Jam over any other basketball game on there because there's no reason not to. Why would you want to play, try and make that machine chug through a 5v5 game of actual basketball when you could just be playing 2v2, doing some amazing boom shakalakas.
Since you brought it up, I do have my prop here, NBA Jam. Tournament edition. Yes.
What was your team, Meg?
I played the Jazz. Stockton Malone with the Jazz. I love the absurdity of all of the Midway games, which we'll get into more of Midway. But I think Midway was kind of like the juggernaut of the non-sports sports game. I don't have it over here. I need to dig through my collection. Which I don't have to show off all my props, right? But I was gonna another one that I liked on the Genesis. There was an Acme Sports, is like the Tiny Toons, and it was like a sports game that I really thought was pretty fun.
So I think that there was two of them. Well, okay, what am I trying to think?
There's two Acme, but yeah,
like Tiny Toons.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Let me grab it quick.
Oh boy, here he goes. He's going on an adventure.
Well,
I can't hear him, but he can still hear me. I know on the Super Nintendo there was Looney Tunes Basketball, as well as Tiny Toons Wacky Sports Challenge, which was kind of like maybe like your Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games for like track and field sort of events.
Yeah.
So that is Tiny Toons Acme All-Stars.
Yes.
Is that only basketball?
No, it's basketball, soccer, and bowling, and like one other game. But
nice.
Yeah, it's like simulated or fake. It's like fake sports. So okay, so we covered that, and people are gonna be like mad that we didn't cover NBA Jam enough. But I mean, NBA Jam is classic. But in my opinion, the more superior version of that game that I have sunk probably 500 hours into, NBA Hang Time, which is just...
Is that 3v3?
Oh no, my camera zoomed. I'm ready this time. Don't worry. It is 2v2, and you have character customization, and it is amazing. It is just like an amazing game. And its counterpart, NFL Blitz 2000. Do you have one of those as well, or NFL Blitz, Wade?
So that was we were discussing props before the show started, and Meg's like, "Well, I'm going to make sure that I don't have the same props as you have." And I'm like, "I don't think that you have any of these props because I didn't mention it in my game collecting episode that we had most recently, but I do have a copy of NFL Blitz Special Edition.
Okay.
What makes it special? Nobody even really knows. I think it was just not a terribly large amount of printing. I'm pretty sure that I also have a copy of at least 2000, if not the original NFL Blitz.
Yeah.
Because I think there was just Blitz 2000 and 2001
Yep.
for like the PlayStation 1 and N64 eras.
Yeah.
And then did it just kind of die? Was there a Blitz on
There was
PlayStation 2?
There was Blitz the
Original
League,
Xbox?
which like was kind of like
of
a
course.
revival game. And then of course there was also which is not Midway, right? There's the EA Sports big games. You had your NBA Streets. Yes, there you go. You have your NBA Streets Volume 2, your NFL Streets, and those games. So I sunk a lot of time into NBA Street Volume 2 as well, the EA Sports big. And before we move on, one of my top favorite games in all of the history of the world is NHL Hits 2002. And just 3v3, absolute chaos, madness hockey, which is amazing. I think we'll probably just keep doing show and tell and talking about different things. And then we can talk about why the games just are so much fun. But yeah, NHL Hits, another Midway game. Kind of after that, Midway kind of fell off with the sports games, in my opinion, around that PS3, Xbox 360 era.
Well, did they fall off or stop existing entirely? Because I don't think that they get scooped up. Wasn't Midway pumping out all the Mortal Kombat games too, or is that a thing that I'm making up?
They still might be. I think maybe, probably, they might still be. But in terms of their sports games and their absurd sports games, I feel like they kind of fell off of that. So, so let me look and see here. So we were talking about Midway and EA Sports Big, which of course, like I said in the earlier part, if you have any games that you're like, oh yeah, like I love these games. Like I know one of our viewers that was our boss at Domino's absolutely loves NBA Jam and NFL Blitz. And I even played a lot of the NBA Jam Revival when it was like LeBron and D Wade on the Heat. I remember we had tournaments playing that game. I smashed my hand through a table one time. I was so mad playing that game, which my friends in North Dakota can attest to that as well.
Oh dear.
But Wade, why don't you talk about another iconic video game character and some of the sporting adventures that he and his friends have partaken on?
Are we talking about the Italian plumber from Another Mother, Mario brother?
We are talking about that Italian plumber.
I mean, I know that you have a strong affinity for Mario Tennis.
Yes.
And like, I would not touch a regular tennis game, but I'll play the heck out of some Mario Tennis.
Yes, Mario Tennis. But one of my favorites I mentioned before as well, Mario Golf, was my first N64 game. I still play that game to this day. I was playing on my Steam Deck, and I totally flubbed like a 4-foot putt to beat Mario to unlock him. Went to extra holes and lost, and was legitimately ticked for like 3 hours because I just...
Metal Mario?
No, regular Mario.
Oh, regular Mario.
Yes. Okay. Well, I play Yoshi, and he drives at 50 or 40 yards less, so it's kind of hard. But yeah, of course, you know, Mario Golf, Mario Tennis. I mean, you could even count like Mario Kart, maybe in that catalog as well, as some of the most like just fun sports games, non-sports sports games. But Wade, you have some other ones to tell us.
Have to feature the sport that I wouldn't care about at all if it was not being played by Mario characters, which would be Super Mario Strikers. The probably better version, I think, personal preference, I suppose, on the Wii, Mario Strikers Charged, which did have some elements of having to use the Wiimote to play goalie at certain point in times, which might be a deal breaker for somebody. The one on the Switch was not great, but still serviceable. Definitely the weakest out of all three of the Super Mario Strikers games that have come out, but still pretty good.
I feel the same way about the tennis game that came out and the golf game. They're all just like not as fun. Which I don't have the Toadstool Tour for GameCube, the golf one.
This is
Mario
kind of
Power
an empty.
Tennis.
Like, this is an empty complaint about the Mario sports games on the Nintendo Switch, is that it felt like they were just kind of filler games that they released when there was a lull, and that to extend it over lulls for even longer periods of time, it's felt like they shipped them incomplete and they would like add things into them via DLC later on, which is extremely uncharacteristic of Nintendo, in that Nintendo will finish a game and then ship a game rather than, you need this day one patch to play this game or to drip feed you things like that. It just, I guess I'll be glad that they're only using that strategy in their sports games, but it is still disappointing that the sports games are treated that way. But not to be all Debbie Downer and complaining about those things. It was just a frustrating element of it.
I have one more that I've spent a lot of time playing. That is Super Mario All-Star or Superstar Baseball. And there is a pocket of people that actually had a full-on league that they played with this game that I followed on TikTok, and it was super competitive and crazy and just super cool. And so it's cool to see that stuff is living on and continuing. So
well, maybe with the Nintendo Switch 2 GameCube online stuff, they'll be bringing back some of these sports games with full online multiplayer. That's got to be one of the saddest days, is when the Wii online went down and you couldn't play Mario Strikers Charged online anymore.
Yes, I agree, for sure. So, all right, so let's transition then, Wade. So we've talked about some of our favorite ones, right? And we've highlighted some of the games that are really cool. But we have not talked about why these games seem to be more fun than the actual sim games, like your FIFA, your 2K, MLB The Show, Top Spin. But there's not really been a football one since Blitz. But why is NFL Blitz more fun than Madden? And I mean, to some people they would disagree, but I feel like there is a generation of people our age, which I would say late 80s, early 90s kiddos, now adults, that just have such fond memories, and they keep I keep going back to Hang Time if I want to have a good time, or I keep going back to Mario Baseball and Mario Golf, and it's why are these games just way more fun than the Sims that were out at the same time?
Well, even speaking to competition drives innovation. So your current generation sports games are just stagnant because they can be. They only have to compete against themselves. They don't have to, be innovating in cool and interesting ways to come along with anything. There was a YouTuber, and if I think of their name someday, I'll make sure to mention it to you and send it your way, who did an explanation as to why, I don't think it was Madden, but it would have been some other, NFL quarterback club. I don't know what was coming out during that time, but why this game from 2002 was more feature rich than anything that was coming out currently. You could simulate more seasons. You could take your created player through more things, One other element that I wanted to mention in regards to why these, I guess we could call them zanier style sports games, are just because they're going to be timeless rather than you're going to shelve your old copy of a sports game once a new sports game comes out, if that's just what you're keeping up with. Exactly how you were saying. You can just go back to Hang Time and still have a great time with it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting, right? Like with the new 2K, it's you just get the new game so you can play it online and you get updated rosters. And I think as somebody who's sunk a lot of time into that, I think I just get super frustrated because my player's like a 95 overall, and he like can't make a layup unless if he's like slightly contested, and it's like I don't know. I think something about just the simplicity of a game like NBA Jam, right? It's a 3-button game, or like Hang Time's a 3-button game. Blitz is like a 3-button game, and then like NHL Hits is a little bit more complicated, but just like the absurdity of it, like when you have Team Pony and they're just these horses playing against like the Scourge, who are just sharks with like their heads are just sharks, and it's just like so ridiculous and absurd. Like that is a fun element to me. But I think with all of these games, for the most part, like especially the Midway games, because they were like arcade games as well, they are so fast paced, and like the action is just like nonstop. Like in Blitz, it's like you pick a play, you run it, then you slam each other. Or like in Hang Time, it's just constant back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. And like, it's so easy to score too. Like if you play Hang Time, like of course the Midway games are notorious for their rubber banding. So it's like if the computer's getting down like 10, they're just going to like make every shot and stuff. But I think it was just like so like, it's so easy to score, and it's like so satisfying to play because it's just like, it's so simple. And it's almost like, it's like the TikTok of sports games, and the fact of just like you're getting constant affirmation and stimulation, because it's just like, oh my gosh, I got this dunk, and now he's flying in the sky, and now he's like, and then the announcer's just like, boom shakalaka, and he's just like getting hype and going crazy, right? At least for like the Midway games. And then the Mario games, like you said, right? It's like the characters aren't phasing out. Like Mario and Donkey Kong and Peach and like all these characters have been in games since like the beginning, and they're still in games now, and they're still like relevant, right? So maybe those are two things that make them more fun, at least in my opinion.
In NFL Blitz, when you were ahead by like 2 or 3 touchdowns, you could not, the ball became covered in butter. You were going to fumble constantly. There was no saving it.
Yeah, it's just like you'd pass it to your guy and he'd just bobble it up, and then it'd be interception, and then the screen would flip. Yeah, I just like have so many fun memories. Like my friend Bo and I, we tried to beat Hang Time, and we did with like, we beat every team, and like our guys were maxed out stats, and it was just like, I don't know, it's just like so fun, and it's so simple, and it's just like, it is repetitive, but like you just like want to keep playing it. I mean, I have a lot more time in a Hang Time than NBA Jam, but I know like the people that are maybe like a little bit older than I am probably sunk a lot of time into NBA Jam, and of course like Hang Time came from that game, which I think is pretty cool. Another thing I was going to bring up and tell you, so like now a lot of the sports games are like fairly accurate, and like, like if you're playing hockey, like the pacing's like kind of like real hockey, or if you're playing like FIFA,
those line changes.
Yeah, well, and I wonder if like, your NBA court sides, or like your Maddens in those games, like back in the days of like the PS2 or PS1, like I don't think they were like very realistic in terms, like, I mean, they were like the sim game, but like because the technology was older, it didn't necessarily feel like it does nowadays, where it's like, oh, I'm playing a simulation and this feels like it, like, I don't know. Do you think like that has anything to do with it? Like the sim games of the time, the N64 and like the Super Nintendos were just like not very
They were
good.
they were as realistic as they could have hoped to be, and then they filled in the rest of it with more fantastical elements.
Well, but like if you think about it, right? If you're trying to play like Madden, right, and you're just getting frustrated because you're like, well, in real football, like this would never happen. But when you're playing NFL Blitz, it's like, well, in real football, this would never happen. But that's like the point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
like
agree.
maybe you're like leaning into the fact of just like, oh yeah, like this is ridiculous and absurd and crazy, but like I like it because the gameplay is addicting and fun. You know?
I saw something on TikTok that I'd never seen before. I don't know how I've escaped this in the entirety of my time on the internet. Some clip of a guy playing Madden where Greg Jennings put the team on his back. Are you familiar with this?
Of course, I quote it.
I'd never
quote it all
seen
the
this
time.
before in my life.
Yeah, he broke his leg. There's
Broke his leg. Put the
Darren
team on
Sharper, hardest hitting safety in the league. Yeah, I got to do this for Madden. I say that like with my friends back home all the time. Like, oh yeah, we got to do this for Madden. They're like, what? You know, people are like, what does that mean? I'm like, have you never seen Greg Jennings put the team on his back though?
Until a couple of days ago, I had not. So.
Man, that is iconic.
I have two. I mean, that's the trifecta. So there was my random aside one, and I've got two more in the tank that I don't know where they would fit anywhere else. So I also wanted to do a shout out for, if driving or racing is a sport as well. I have always absolutely had a much stronger preference for games like Forza Horizon over games like Forza Motorsport because they are just a little bit more arcadey, and when you press the accelerator, you feel like your car really goes, and I don't feel like that is the case. And maybe it's because in those simulation games, they always have to start you out in like a Class C vehicle that, doesn't have any of that giddy up and go behind it. Otherwise, I mean, it wouldn't be a very exciting game if you just started with the fastest car at the very beginning, and I just really like the Forza Horizon games. I guess what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I also have a very vivid memory of what I guess, other than the Mario sports games, what I would consider to be my personal last hurrah of when a game came out like this that really excited me, and it was when NFL Blitz came out for the Xbox 360, like Xbox Live Arcade kind of game with full online support. I distinctly remember delivering pizzas at Domino's, and I delivered to somebody who opened the door, and I saw that they were playing it because it had just come out that day, and I was so jealous, and I'm like, I'm gonna play it tonight after I get off work. Like they were living their best life. They were playing NFL Blitz. They just ordered a pizza. They were gonna have the greatest night.
Yeah. I didn't ever play that, but I had like a different NFL one that was kind of like more like NFL Street. It was franchised and licensed with NFL stuff.
I think FIFA Street even continued into the 360 era.
Yeah, and the cool thing is now like on the FIFA games, they actually have this other mode. I forgot what it's called, but it's basically like 3v3, and it's like you're playing like it's an actual thing in like countries. It's almost like you're in like a hockey rink, but it's smaller and the goal's smaller, and you're playing like 3v3 like soccer. And it's really fun, and it's built into the actual FIFA game, but it plays much differently than like it plays more like Strikers than it does like the actual FIFA gameplay. I'm trying to think what like the last, if there's been any other like sports games, non-sports sports games that have come out. I know at one point there was a free
Mario's the only torchbearer that I can think of right now.
There was a free baseball game on Xbox Live.
That's super mega something.
Yeah, that game was actually kind of fun, but it's interesting because like I saw Backyard Baseball, which shout out to that whole series. Those games I saw like they're re-releasing Backyard Baseball because everyone was freaking out because Pablo Sanchez was going to be back in the that's like he's the GOAT or whatever. Which I didn't really play a lot of those backyard games, but I knew that they existed and like seemed pretty fun.
Oh, they've got Super Mega Baseball 1 through 4. Most recent one came out in 2023.
Gotcha. So there's still some, but I feel like it's probably like a little bit more of like a niche market now, whereas like back in its heyday, it was like, oh man, like the NHL hitses and the NBA hang times and blitzes were more popular than even some of like the Maddens and stuff like that, but. Yeah, I don't know. It's very interesting that those games have fallen off. Do you think it has anything to do with like that arcades are just like non-existent anymore? Because like a lot of those are like games are like arcade games, like not the Mario ones, but the Midway ones especially.
They have their roots as quarter munchers. There's no doubt about it. Like that's where they started, but they still, I still feel that they found moderate success bringing these, arcade-specific games to home consoles. Like, that's where fighting games were in the arcades, and fighting games are still, surviving and some would say thriving in, this new next generation world that we live in. Whereas your alternative sports games have just kind of gone the way of the dodo.
Yeah.
So you just have your Sim sports games. That's all you get.
I did want to give a shout out to a specific sports game genre that has been quote unquote sim the whole time, but it doesn't always feel like it. But like I feel like wrestling games, like WCW, NWO Revenge was like it felt kind of like an arcade game, but it technically was like kind of like the sim game. And now like even WWE 2K25 still like they've added more elements to like do submissions and things like that, but it still kind of feels like arcadey, but it's technically like sports entertainment. So I don't know if you would like count it in the same realm per se.
I mean, playing a wrestling game is just like watching a soap opera, right?
Yes, I mean, or watching wrestling, which I'm a wrestling fan, right? So, but I've always enjoyed pretty much any wrestling game that I've played, and they all are kind of the same. They just get like a little bit better. But like I still go back to Revenge. If I have like 3 friends over and it's just like, oh yeah, let's play Revenge. Okay, we just turn on the 40-person battle royale and just beat the snot out of each other, and then see who wins.
The only thing that I know about the more recent wrestling games is that they've just been so riddled with bugs at launch. Like it's just the exciting thing that comes out every time.
It's not been great. I had 22, and we use it for our fantasy football draft. So, like I made characters; they're all the same, and then we do like a Royal Rumble to see who's going to get what picks or what pick is, and so that's pretty fun. But yeah, I still like. I guess like maybe to me these games are timeless. Like I said, I still go back to Mario Golf, Mario Tennis, NHL Hits. Like I would say, I play those games probably once every 3 months. But there is not a single like NBA Live or a Madden or anything from that era that I have touched any time in the last 5 to 10 years, right? And so, but I wonder like if they were to make like a similar like an NHL Hits 2025 or like a NBA Jam 2025, like would people play it, or like would it? Do you think it would have the same like appeal as they did back then?
Tough to say. We'll never know because they won't do it.
Yeah, I mean they must think no. So I don't know. I guess we have these classics to go back to, but all right, we'll chat. I'm like streaming. People in the comments, let us know what is your favorite non-sports game, and let us know some of your favorite memories, which combo you used in NBA Jam, if you played the Broncos or the Vikings in NFL Blitz 2000, and any other Mario sports game or other non-sports sports games that you think we missed. Let us know. So, did you have anything else you wanted to add, or do you feel like we're good to...
I think that I didn't find a time to interject that a buddy of mine, I'm fairly certain, I mean, he's got kids now, but before he had the kids, when he was just living that bachelor life, and this was well after 2005, in which Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2005 had come out, he was still playing that game because he loved it that much. So that was just an example where I think he went from 5 to 6 and then went back to 5 and never bothered playing anything newer ever again. Because he believed it was just perfection.
Shout out Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2005.
2005. Respect. 20 years and still being played. So, cool. Wade, tell us about the achievement of the week.
The achievement of the week pivoted from what it was going to be to this because it was just so in line with the topic. It is from the Xbox 360 release of NBA Jam, and the achievement is called He's on Fire for hitting a buzzer beater while on fire.
Respect.
That NBA Jam came out, let me get a release date real quick over here. November of 2010.
Yep.
Was when that physical release of NBA Jam came out.
I enjoyed that one. I need to get a physical copy of it. I have it on my Xbox 360, but I need to get a physical copy of it.
There's 2 versions. No, there's only one physical version, but there's also the On Fire edition, which was download only. And I think that one you could still buy that. I'm fairly certain. I think it's backwards compatible. I'm almost certain of. I swear I've seen it. But whatever. Zero research was done, obviously. We're just spouting things off. Do you have a song of the week, Meg, or are we doing a new thing instead?
So
After 21 episodes,
I
are we done with the song of the week?
We are not done with song of the week forever, but I do not have a
Hatest.
song of the week this week because we are going to be introducing our new segment, which is us playing Game Dole.
Game Dole.
So Game Dole, as you can see here, is just like a game thing. So shout out to my buddy Aaron for giving us a suggestion of, hey, you should play some sort of game or do something game related every week together. That would be kind of fun. And so
The whole show is game related.
yes, and so I'm going to share my screen to Wade here on Game Dole, and then for you guys here on the viewing. I thought we could do we could do like a few of these. And then so how it will work, can you see what I'm doing here, Wade?
Yes.
So we will do guess the game by its cover. Okay? How to play. So we have this here, right? And so we'll look and see, we'll check it out for a minute. Those of you that are, well, nobody's listening on like everyone's watching. All right, so we're going to give ourselves some time to think about what this could be, and then we are going to, on the count of 3, we are going to say what our guesses are. Do you have a guess for that one?
I know what it is.
Okay, I don't, but I'm going to guess. All right, we're going to go 3, 2, 1. Dead Island.
Far Cry 3.
Far Cry 3. All right, we're going to go with Wade's guess here. For our Far Cry 3.
3.
And Wade is correct.
I thought you knew when you said on the count of 3. I thought you were doing a goof.
No goofs here. No goofs here. I'm just going to pop us out here and then do this so then I can minimize. So don't mind the taskbar in the bottom. We're doing this on the fly. All right, let's go to artwork for our next one. Wade is up 1-0. Okay, so as you can see here, we got all sorts of cool stuff.
I don't know how I feel about this, like, ultra wide view. Like, is this a half a screenshot or what? What is going on with this thing?
Yes.
I know what I think it is, so I'm good.
All right, so we'll go 1, 2, 3. Terraria.
Enter the Gungeon.
Okay. I'm just throwing out random stuff here. We'll go with your guess. Enter the Gungeon, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
incorrect.
It's not.
Wrong
Give me zoomed in on
franchise.
whatever's going on the
So
bottom.
we got a table here and we got some
Who are
legs.
these people? What the what?
All right. Do you have a guess
What's
for this one, or do you want to skip?
Oh, I have a guess. I'm not guessing.
All right. Are you
Those
ready to
legs.
guess?
Dude, this is artwork. So this maybe isn't even gameplay. Maybe that's what's throwing me off so much.
I'm not sure.
All right, this is not gonna. This is the most. I mean, some people will be happy that I guessed this. Start typing in "ugly Americans."
Okay. Yeah, I have no guess, so we will go with yours here.
So there's only
Ugly.
one "ugly Americans" game. It's not even in there. Oh, well,
Nope.
then it's definitely not that.
All right.
What the what?
I'm
Hover
gonna-
over those legs one more time, and then we can skip. What are you? Who could you be? And then there's like signs on the wall. There's a table. Yeah, just skip. Give me some more. Give me some more clues.
All right. So we
Oh, you gotta
skipped.
press and hold. You gotta press and hold. Really commit to your skip. What's that?
This is a
So it's
guy.
like a shop. It's like a shop. What is this? This is a game that neither of us have ever played before.
Probably. Do you want to skip again?
Skip it again. Skippity doo dah.
Who is this
Who's
guy?
that?
Who is this guy?
That's the Sasquatch. He's a Bigfoot.
I don't think we're gonna get it, bro.
Nah, skip it.
It's an
Skip it down.
adventure indie.
Oh, so many helpful hints.
There he is.
Is there? We can look at the main character. So is this like Slay the Spire? Is that a thing? No, that's a card game. Put it in there.
Slay the Spire.
No,
I don't
wrong
know.
franchise and saga. More people. Switch, piece, adventure. Wait, yeah, this is
Are we skipping?
never played it. I don't know what it is.
All
I'm ready
right.
to lose some. I'm ready to lose some gamer cred.
The Case of
The
the
case
Golden
of the
Idol.
Golden Idol. So this is embarrassing. I've played this game.
What? Come on, Wade. You played this game?
I've played this
Oh,
game. Yep.
Shame.
I
Shame.
100% of this game. I don't remember any of these characters at
Oh,
all.
Man. My window has been
Oh,
the door's been left open. All right, so we move on to keywords. Okay, how to play. Try to guess the game based on the clues presented to you in the form of phrases, words, emojis, or even pixelated cover art. All right, so we have superhero, T-Rex, sequel, and cell shading. Okay, this is our first set of clues.
I don't know if I've got a guess off of that because I got to think of a sequel yet too. Cell shading, T-Rex. Okay, do we need a 3, 2, 1?
Yes. All right, 3. Oh, we're froze. There we go. 3, 2, 1.
No More Heroes 2.
Legend of Zelda, Wind Waker. I know that's wrong. We'll go with your guess. No More Heroes 2.
Desperate Struggle.
All right,
No,
incorrect.
incorrect.
Hack and slash beat 'em up. Mission base 2D red suit.
Now I know it. Now I know
Speed up. I think I know it as well, but I don't know which.
Are you ready?
It's a sequel.
Yeah, so just put a 2 at the end of whatever you're going to say.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Beautiful Joe 2.
2. Oh.
Beautiful Joe. Henshin a Go-Go, baby.
Let's try Beautiful Joe.
Has to be. Red suit, speed up, mission based.
Oh, you got
Dang.
it. All right, Wade is up 2-0 on me. I didn't know the T-Rex part. I didn't even think about that.
I know it wasn't until that second set of clues was super helpful. Can we see what the other clues were, or will it not show us anymore?
I don't think so.
Like where it goes? No. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I can look at this later.
And our last one.
I don't like this one. Don't like this one.
Is this where we just guess random games?
Yeah, I think that we're just going to take turns. I think that's the only way you can handle this.
All right, let's try and figure this out together.
Just pick something that came out in the year 2000 so you can find out if it came out before or after.
NBA Jam.
Oh, on theme. Very good.
Okay.
So what does the up arrow mean that it came out later than that?
So red, none of the clues match. Yellow, one of the clues match the themes. Game mode, single player, multiplayer. The up arrow is older. Down arrow is newer. So it says 19. Game you have chosen is
The
older.
up arrow means
It's
that the game you have chosen is older than the game. So we need to pick a newer game.
Yes. All right. And then
And it has one of the themes that it has is hand with sword.
action.
Action. Okay, gotcha.
And it's
Yeah, it came out on one of those platforms. Very cool.
it says it's Wii is the newest one. So
Well, I think that no, that's the platforms that NBA Jam came out on, bud.
oh. My bad.
You're fine.
All right.
All right, give me some Devil May Cry 5 on here.
Maybe in the future
I just know that's super recent.
we work together and do this one. I don't know because we're a little bit
we're
longer.
already working together.
We're a little bit
working together
longer,
already.
but who cares? Okay. So
But now we know it is a third-person game that
is-
came out between 1993 and 2019.
co-op, third person.
Yeah. So from here on out, you should pick a third-person game if possible.
All right. I am going to.
And the yellow means that it came out on either Xbox Series X, PS5, Xbox One, PS4, or PC. So that is helpful to us.
I'm gonna guess Gears of War 4. Is that
Good
the
guess.
new?
That is a third-person game. Gears 5 is the newest one. So Gears 4, I think, is in the sweet spot of the time, I think.
Oh, look at this guess, huh?
Oh, man.
So,
and it is the correct franchise.
Oh, Correct,
It's the correct
franchise, wrong saga.
What? What does that even mean?
So Unreal Engine. Would it be Gears Judgment? No, we didn't get the.
No, because it had to come out for the Xbox One. So is it the down arrow means that we need to get like it came out before Gears 4. Gears 4 is the newest one that came out. So is it just Gears of War Ultimate Edition?
I don't know. Correct franchise, Gears of. Wrong saga?
Yeah, give me Gears of War Ultimate Edition.
It's not on here.
Is that not even a thing? What the heck, man? So it came out on
What did Judgment come out on?
the 360.
Okay. This is confusing now.
There's a Gears Tactics game, but that absolutely isn't third person. This is yellow, same
One
saga
or more
franchise.
clues
Oh,
are
yeah.
correct, but not all correct. So it was either Xbox was the publisher or the Coalition, the developer. And then it's saying correct franchise, wrong saga.
There's only so many games in the Gears franchise.
There's only
my
one,
guy.
right?
There's only one other one
there's
that came
only
out on
one-
the Xbox One.
There's only one
If it came out-
saga.
But if it came out before this, I guess maybe they're considering if it's backwards compatible and you could play it on Xbox One. Go for Judgment or 3.
Gears of War Judgment.
Hey!
Hey! Dude, let's go. I was actually going to pick Judgment instead of 3, which would have been a crazy pull. Wow, I'm impressed. We actually got it in like
believe we did
5. Wow. I'm honored. I'm impressed with us.
Amazing. That was fun, Meg.
Yes. Well, you beat me in the competition 2-0.
It's fun because I won.
And then we conquered the other part together. So, and we're only at 46 minutes. So that's okay. This might be a little bit longer. It is what it is. We're just hanging out, and you guys get to be a part of it. So
They'll click off if they get bored. I had fun. I think this was a good episode.
if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. If you do, we appreciate you. Give us a
If
like.
you've made it this long, we already have the view counter's already gone up by 1. So
Yep, it has. Give us
Gotcha.
a like if you like the video. Subscribe if you like our stuff. And if you're just visiting, come back next week. Who knows what we'll talk about? We don't know yet. We'll figure it out.
I
But
think Meg mentioned it, but please hop in the comments and tell us what not
Yes.
sports games that we missed, because I'm sure there are plenty.
yes, please do. So, shout out to Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. That's another one. So, all right. Well, that's it for us. I'm Mag. This is Wade. Thanks for watching Gamer Disclaimer, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.